Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'd like to show you how I made this card. It's the cat looking in the window at the bird, and the bird is hanging loose like that, and on the inside when you see the cat you can see he's looking at the bird. Okay, I can't really show you the real beauty of this because where the camera is, but it was inspired by a swap that I received from Rebecca Wilmore when we went to Telford. This is the swap and it's a lot easier for you to see the beauty of it. You can see how it hangs there, it moves. It is just absolutely superb, and Rebecca's got the face on the cat as well. And I asked Rebecca if she minded if I made a video showing how to make this, and she said no, she's quite happy. So many thanks Rebecca, not only for the swap, which is fantastic, but also for letting me get on and do this. So I'll start off with the card pieces first, and you will need a crumb cake card base, and I've done it this way so that when the card stands up, although you can't see it from where you are, the bird does actually hang downwards. So this measures 11.5 inches by 4 1/8, scored and folded at 5 3/4 inches. In metric, that's 29 centimetres by 10.4 centimetres, scored and folded at 14.5 centimetres. And then you need a piece of acetate that is 2 3/8 by 2 7/8 inches, which is 6 centimetres by 7.3 centimetres. Another piece of acetate which is 5 inches by 3 inches, which is 12.7 by 7.6 centimetres, and that's enough to do 2 cages. Then you need a piece of Whisper White which measures 4 inches by 5 5/8 inches, which is 10.25 by 14.25 centimetres. And then some old olive for the window frames, and these measure 3 3/4 inches by 3 inches each, which is 9.5 centimetres by 7.6 centimetres. And then a piece of soft suede for the cat, which I haven't brought over, which you need 4 3/4 inches by 3 inches, which is 12 centimetres by 7.6 centimetres. And then you need a piece of DSP, which is like the wallpaper in the room, and I'm using this, which is from Falling in Love, which will be available in the spring catalogue, and this measures 3 7/8 inches by 5 1/2 inches, which is 10 by 14 centimetres. Let me just reach across and get the soft suede for the cat. Much bigger than I need, but that's fine. So what we'll do, I think, is, as usual, we'll do the stamping first, and then the die cutting, and then putting the card together. So those will be die cutting, this is stamping, and this is stamping. Okay, so first of all, for the Birdcage, which comes from, the Badges and Banners stamp set, and this has a coordinating punch to it as well. Now the reason I do this bit first is so that it's got time to dry. Now I'm going to use Stazon jet black ink for this, and I use my Stamp-a-ma-jig to help me with this, because it's so easy when you're stamping onto acetate for your stamp to slide. I find it much easier if I just use my Stamp-a-ma-jig, just put my acetate in there and then just stamp my stamp. And because you need a bit extra when you're punching, so like the handle, I've cut mine big enough so that I can do 2 of these. Okay, so I'm doing this upside down because that's the way it's going to be going into the punch. Okay, so that's one. Now I can turn this upside down, pop that back in again, and I can do another one. So then I'm all ready to make another card. I always do this one first so that it's got plenty of time to dry while I'm working on everything else. Okay, so with this Stamp-a-ma-jig, absolutely no worries about, I forgot to put that one upside down, no worries about my stamp sliding. Okay, so the next bit I'm going to do is the card front. And first of all, I'm going to use the Hardwood stamp, which is this one here. And this is the only time when I normally buy wooden stamps, wood mount. I just find them a lot easier when they're so big. Now what I need for this is a piece of paper because I'm going to be stamping off. I don't want the wood to be too dark, and I need the Crumb Cake ink. So what I'll do is ink my stamp up first. Stamp it off. Turn it up this way, and then I'm going to put my cardstock on. I'm going to line the top up, get it straight, and it is going to be too long for the stamp, so I'm going to finish up with a straight line at the end. Okay, see, I have this straight line here. Well, we don't want that. So the way we will get rid of it is we're going to put some grass, and the grass stamp comes from in the meadow. I'm going to use this one here. And I'm going to be using old olive ink. And I'll bring my bit of scrap paper back again. And my stamp is this one here. And I'll show you the effect I'm after. Okay, I just want the grass so that you can't see that straight line underneath it. And it's quite easy to get rid of that. As I stamp along here, I do some up, some down. I overlap some of them. As I say, the idea is just to make sure that I cover up that line. Okay, once you're happy you can't see your line anymore, then that's enough, you're done. There we go, that's fine. Now I'm going to do the stems of flowers here, or climber, whatever, and that is coming from the Ready to Pop stamp set. That's this here. Now this is really clever because it's so easy to do one line on top of another line. This only comes so far, but it's easy to continue. Okay, so ink that up, and all I'm doing is making sure I'm getting it nice and straight here, and to make sure that the bottom here is going to come into here. Okay, just hold that down and get it towards me, so try not to put my head in the camera. Oh dear, didn't do that very well. I wonder if I can overlap that. Right, I'm going to ignore that bit. What I'm just going to carry on because I'll cover that up with flowers, I think. But the bottom of the flower stem is just one little stalk. Move my hand out the way as well. Okay, you can see one stalk there at the bottom, and that's quite easy to line up onto this here. Yes, you can see that as well, can't you? Okay, so let me do that. Let's see if I can do a better bit of stamping this time. And again, trying not to get my head right over. And also trying to make sure that I'm carrying on in a straight line. That's better. Okay, so you can't really tell where I've gone there. I'm going to do this side now. Make sure it's straight and making sure that the stem is going down into the grass. Much better. Now let's do the continuation. If you find that you do miss lining it up, well, like I have there, I suppose, you can always put your flower in that position. It's one of those things where chances are nobody else is going to notice it. Right, so for the red flowers, I am using this one. That little flower there, which is from Number of Years. I have to say I have used rather a lot of stamp sets on this one. So all I'm doing is I'm keeping my flower with the point upwards. Doesn't really matter which way you do it. But first of all, I'm going to come and try and sort this bit out first. So I do one there, one on the other side. As I go up, I'll decide whether I want to come back and do another one on there. No, I don't think I will. I mean, it's okay making a mistake, but I don't want to make it obvious that I'm trying to cover up a mistake. I'm just doing one on one side and then one on the other side. I think I might have done a few more on this side than the other. Oh, that's alright, don't mind that. Okay, so that's the flower done. And then I'm not going to do the happy birthday, that bit there, until after I've done the window, in case I put the window in a slightly different position. Right, so I'll do the die cutting next. So that's the 2 windows and the window frame. So first of all, to cut the window, I'm going to use the No. 7 straight cut die from the Layering Squares framelits, where we get the complete set of straight cuts and the complete set of scallops. And I count mine, the smallest one first, and then as they get bigger, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, and I've come up to No. 7 for the one that I'm going to use now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this in the centre, and I want it best part of 1 inch down. Did I say? I think I said 1 inch down, didn't I? Now the only thing I want to measure on this is to make sure that I've got my window straight. So that is, oh, that's exactly the same as where I had it before. Yes, that's good. And it's more or less straight. The little tad that it is out really isn't going to be noticeable at all. Okay, so we cut that through. Now with this square, what we find is it doesn't cut a hole that's big enough for the window. Okay, the window is going to be from the Hearth and Home framelits, and as you can see, if I pop that over there, you can still see some of the cardstock down here. So we need to make this hole bigger, and the way we do that is we bring our square back again and we put it back into position, and you can feel when it's back into where it was before, because that fits in really nicely. And you need about that much of a gap, which I think is probably about 3/8 of an inch. Let's put it up this way. So that's well, that's 1/4 of an inch for me. But that's going to be big enough, and that's about 0.7 of a centimetre. If you want to do it a bit bigger, you can, but that will be big enough. So I'm going to pop this through again. Okay, so I've cut that bit out now, and I have the oblong that I need. So the next I need to do is to cut out my 2 window frames, because I have one on the inside and one on the outside. So let's have that. My cardstock is quite a bit smaller than what I've recommended for you, because I had a couple of scraps left over and they fit almost perfectly. Oh, and this I was also going to use some wax paper as well, because I do find that this one's a bit tight pulling it out. I mean, it comes out okay, but it's just a bit of an effort, that's all. And the last thing I want is for this to tear while I'm making a video, especially a video that I think is going to work out to be quite long. Okay, so that's that one. There we go. What's happened there? Oh, that's unusual. Right, let's try that one again. Let's have another one. Let's use my tweezers. That one came off alright. Don't know what happened with that first one. Okay, let's take that bit off as well. Okay, so that's that. So I think that's the die cutting machine finished with. Now to adhere this together, I'm going to use my silicone mat, and I'm going to take the first one, the one that didn't come out too easily. I'm going to put that at the back, and I'm going to use Tombow. You could use any kind of glue with this. And I'm going to put glue all over the window frame, but I need the silicone mat because there's going to be window going where there isn't any backing to it. I'll show you what I mean. I don't really need to do that bit just yet, do I? Never mind, it's done. I'll just make sure there's nothing gluey there. I'm just going to pop that to make sure that I can't see any of the crumb cake through there. Move it over a bit because I think that side looked a bit smaller than this side, and then just make sure that my window is straight. Yeah. If I turn it over, you see what I mean? There's a lot here where I've got glue on my window but it's not adhering to anything. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some more glue on here on my green bits. And now I do need it on the crossbars. And then I'm going to put my piece of my acetate window in there. Okay, so there's that one. And now I'm going to do this window and pop that on top. So again, I'm going to put glue all over my window. Now, when you put this down, you just need to be careful that you don't put it, don't let any of the glue actually touch your window, except where it's going to be actually sticking. Otherwise you'll get mucky glue marks on your window. You don't want that. So as you place this down, be very, very careful. There we go. I've missed it a little bit. I can just about see some acetate through there, which you shouldn't be able to. But now you've got a really lovely window there. So next we put the two layers on in here. We'll do that one first. Again, if you want to use snail, you can do. in on this one. This pack of designer series paper is absolutely gorgeous. Do check it out when you get your new catalogue, the spring catalogue. Have a look at this. The designs are just absolutely gorgeous. I've sent all my catalogues out to all of my customers. If you'd like a catalogue and you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you're in France, Germany, Netherlands, UK and Austria, I'll be more than happy to send you one. I do have them in English, French and German, so I can look after you if English isn't your first language. Okay, so we've got that bit there. Now I'm going to do the cat. So what I need that is the Fox Builder punch. Oh, didn't do him a proper tail, did I? And I pushed that out as well. That was clever. Let's put that back in. So let's try that one again just for the tail. Yes, yes, and yes. Okay, so all I need is the head, tail and the body. I don't need that. I save those for my, they can go in my body bags. Don't need those nor that. Just put that in my tray over there. Right, what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to sponge over the body. Where's my one? Let me bring that one in so you can see it. And I'm going to use my soft suede ink. This would just give the cat a bit of definition. And because the cat's visible from both sides, inside and outside, I do both sides here. And then of course we need to give the cat a face. So I'll also stamp that in soft suede as well. Once I've done that, what I do is I just go over the rest of these, just to give it a little bit of a tone it down really, I suppose. Very, very mottled. Certainly don't go for perfection with this. I think it gives the cat's fur a little bit of dimension. Oh, I need that, don't I, for the face. Right, the face I'm using is from Foxy Friends, and it is this one here. So he gets his whiskers and everything. There we go, that's good. I don't know if you can see that from down there. There we go, looks like the cat. Right, now the other thing that I do with the tail, just to give it a little bit of a twist, as you can, I don't know, can you see that that's folded, curled upwards rather? I don't know whether you can or not, but I've curled it up and down. So the fat piece is the top piece, so I'm curling that backwards just a couple of times and turn it upside down and then over and turn the bottom bit down. So you're finishing up with like an S shape. And then to put it onto the body, you're going to stick it with the pointed end down here, but with the curve going downwards. Okay, this is the up curve, that's the down curve. But first of all, I'm going to put his head on, and I put the body onto his head. And I tilt his head as well. And then a little bit of glue on the bottom of his tail. Okay, now before I go any further, I'm going to stamp my sentiment on here. Again, I'm going to use olive green, and I'm using Happy Birthday, which is from the last stamp set that I'm using this time is Butterfly Basics, and I'm using this one. And this time I'm going to see if I can get it straighter than last time, because the last one wasn't terribly straight. Not too bad, but just not straight. Right. I'll bring it down as close as I can towards me. Make it in the centre and hopefully straight. There we go. Yep, I think that's a bit straighter. Right, so there's that. The cat we can adhere on here, and what I do here is I put some glue along his body at the front, and then I just put a little bit of glue on the side here. That's it. And then I'm going to put the body there. Quickly turn it over to see what he looks like on the other side. Okay, just make sure that you're happy with the positioning. I'm certainly happy with him there. So the last part we have to do is the birdcage. And I'm going to use, in fact I don't really know what this punch is called. I just line that up and punch it out. And then I am using a 1/16 of an inch punch. And I have been struggling with this afternoon, so I am definitely going to get a Stampin' Up one. What I found is it grabs hold of the acetate, and I have a job to get it to let go. And I'm just worried that I'm going to break the acetate. Okay, so I've got that, and I'm using some of our gold, again, not quite sure what we call this, but very, very fine. It's not cooled. Where's my scissors? And what I'm going to do, once I've closed this up, I'm going to fold it in half, and then I'm going to put those two ends through the hole, hopefully together if they don't decide to do the splits. There we go. And then as they're going through, I'm just opening up the loop to bring them through there, and I'm making the loop go over the pointy bit. And then I'm going to keep these separate, bring my card back round again, and I want the bird to hang on the opposite side to where the cat is. So the cat's this side, I want my bird this side. So what I'm going to do, put my cage down like that. I've got my 2 strands of cord coming up here. I'm just separating them a bit. Right, I'm not going to glue them down that far apart. In fact, that's come off as well. Let's put that back again. That's better. Right, let's try that. Now I'm going to use glue dots, which I have just here, and I'm going to use 1 glue dot for each cord. So that one, I'm just making sure that the cage is coming just below the base of the window here. Now with that one in place there, I'm going to get another glue dot and put this one up, so they're quite close to each other but not on top of each other. And that's right, like that. That's do. I'm going to cut both of these off, and then to cover them up I'm going to punch 2 circles with my 1/4 inch punch. Again, another one that I'm going to treat myself to when I get Stampin' Up, because this is not punching nice holes at all. And I'm going to punch this out of the window that I did. In fact, I'm going to, these holes seem to go walkabout. Well, it's not so much walkabouts, they go running. Let's see if I've got them. Right, oh, got it, that's good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pick one up. I don't want the wood side facing up, but I'm just going to pop them on top of my glue dots, like that. Okay, if you've still got some more on there, you want to cut it off, obviously you can do. I'm not unduly fussed about that. But there we go. There's our card. Isn't that super? If you're wondering what one of these cards would look like if you put white window frames on it, take it from me, it doesn't look anywhere near so nice. And I can show you that, I think, because it was something that I tried myself. Because most of our houses here in the UK, I would say, probably got white window frames. So it should look nice, but I don't think it does. It's far too stark. I'll leave him there anyway. But no, I definitely like these ones a lot better. In fact, let me just put something to prop that up under there to stop the glare. There we go. There we go. Many thanks for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this project. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comment box below, or email me at janb@janbcards.com. I'm always very happy to help you. If you'd like to purchase any of the products that I featured here today, if you click on Show More below, that will have a link to my 24/7 online Stampin' Up shop, where you can buy any of the Stampin' Up products. If you've enjoyed my video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It is free. Just click on the subscribe button and then you'll be notified each time I upload another video, which is normally on a Sunday and a Wednesday. And finally, I will put all the measurements and the products that I've used on the screen, but if you can't see the details on the device that you're watching on, again, if you click on Show More below, that'll open up the box and I'll make sure all the details are down there for you. Many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.